gets done. But I did want to help new writers. I know a lot of people are home on the weekend and people want to get some writing done, you know. So I'm going to help new writers with some tips that they may have never gotten before. Um, and I will explain some of the tips that I'm going to give. And I will actually get a sample poem of mine and kind of explain um, some of the tips using some of my own work. Okay, so some of y'all may not know I am an educated creative writer, lots of publications, nominations, awards, all of that good stuff. And I have had mentees that wrote work that placed them as finalists in contests and different things like that. So I'm just doing this short video to help new writers. I want to actually start doing more videos related to creativity because that's kind of where I'm going over to on my new channel. So hopefully we'll get some new people in here who want to get some writing done today. So until we get people in here, I will do a little bit of reading of some literary books that I have. Okay? We're going to wait till we get more people in, but I'm just going to talk about briefly some of the writing lessons that I learned that changed the game for me. So, one of the writing lessons that I learned was to write in your natural speech. If you look at writing as like something that has to look a certain way on the page, if that's how you approach it, you're already blocking yourself. So the very first thing, you have to write as if you are talking to somebody, as if the paper is actually a person that you're talking to. So that you would write in natural speech. This means if you have a hard time speaking in your natural speech in your mind as you write, you need to speak out loud as you write. Okay? So until you get used to being able to imagine that you're talking to someone in your mind, talk out loud to someone. It helps. Sorry, y'all. I'm a little bit congested. It helps if you actually get role models and people, pictures of people, and put them in front of you and imagine that whatever you're writing is addressed to that person. Okay? This way, the creative writing isn't so much artificial. It comes with a natural flow. When you can write in a natural flow, you will unlock skill sets that you didn't even realize that you have. Okay? Your inner critic will get out of your way. So one thing I like to do is imagine, who am I writing to? If I don't have anyone that I'm writing to in mind, then I start to become a robot writing, and then I will I will take I will self edit subconsciously the natural muse in me that would write a line in a distinctive way. I will end up subtracting that or editing it. So this is why I like to always imagine that my writing is a gift to somebody. So that's the first tip. Okay. The second tip, the second tip is to write every day, but start off writing the bare minimum. Okay. You don't want to put any pressure and stress on you as a new writer. So when you first start, you want to be like, I'm going to write 10 lines only, or um, 100 words, or I'm just going to write for 10 minutes. I know it seems like that's not much, but you have to get comfortable with writing. Moving the pen has to become a habit, or just moving your fingers on the typewriter has to become a habit before you can really start even getting into developing a skill set, learning writing techniques. You can't get there until you have gotten used to moving your pen or your keys. So the very first thing is to just learn that ability. Break down the fear of just putting your pen on the paper. This means, as I said, couple minutes a day, write. Okay? And then maybe every 2 weeks you increase the amount of time that you write until it becomes so natural for you to write. Now here's another thing. Talk a lot less out loud unless it's to generate something to write about. Hemingway was right when he said never ask a writer to talk. It's not good for a writer to talk. So talk to write, or don't talk. When you use up your throat chakra energy talking, there's not much left spiritually and magically for you to write and get content to write. So your well will be dry even though you didn't do no writing. So the next tip is to not think about ideas. You want to start off writing what you definitely know. Memories that are more vivid. Using things that you know will definitely trigger memories. This is so that you get used to writing the truth. Even if it's a lie, it's still what you know. You just get used to doing that. Once you get used to doing that, then you can cross over into the artificial make-believe writing a lie. You can cross over to that, but you first got to use your own life and other people's lives as your inspiration. That so that you can just develop the habit of writing and start to fall in love with your writing life. When I first started, I was writing a lot, always about my friends, my siblings, my childhood, different things like that. And then I started to write about my dreams. And then I started writing about things I just imagined. So gradually I crossed over to writing about only imagined things. So now I can pretty much, my mind now doesn't care if it's true or false. It still will be open to me to write about whatever's in it. Okay? Next thing, if you're a new writer, you need a writer's diet. It doesn't matter how many classes you take, how many writing books you write on the craft of writing. If you don't have foods that will empower your writing brain, you're just not going to be good at writing. You're just not going to be good at creative writing. What's going to happen is even the creative skills that you have is going to get buried in your mind. So you want to be able to access the techniques that you're learning or that you programmed your muse to know. You need a powerful brain. I actually take a brain vitamin, and I actually will burn sage or frankincense or a white candle, or I will listen to birds or wind chimes, or a combination of all that. I find that when I eat eggs, my mind is powerful. I find that when I eat certain fruit, my mind is powerful. So I gave y'all a couple of tips if you're planning to write. I will be re-uploading this video on my new channel. I want to make sure this video is almost at least 10 minutes long, so it's not a short. I'll just add to the video. So if you want the replay of this video, you're going to have to watch it on my new channel. I'm going to have a whole nother part added to this video, and then everyone can watch it on my new channel. Thank you for listening, everybody. Enjoy your writing time. Bye.